All right, guys, I hope you could hear me loud and clear this time around. I don't know what exactly occurred, but I had everything completely set up properly. That's really, really weird how the microphone went completely out. But the reason for the live stream is a lot of you know that all of the NASA websites were completely down. I was up at about 1:30 this morning. I went to start accessing the information and I found that everything was completely down. All of the NASA sites, even their main nasa.gov site was down. SDO, Stereo, Soho, the ISWA sites, everything was down from probably about 1 o'clock in the morning till about 45 minutes ago. Why that happened, I have absolutely no idea. It is very, very suspicious. But, you know, it's NASA. We don't exactly know. Nothing was posted about what happened, but all of their sites were completely down. The reason I wanted to have this live stream was to talk about this article that has come out and this information about the Earth's rotation mysteriously slowing down. Experts predict uptick in 2018 earthquakes. Getting directly into the information real quick. Once again, it states that scientists have found strong evidence that in 2018, we will see a big uptick in the number of large earthquakes globally. Earth's rotation, as with many things, is cyclical, slowing down by a few milliseconds per day, then speeding back up again. You know, folks, I talked about this in length in 2016, talking about what would happen in the future. What would happen in the future according to a lot of information that came out about Planet X, what would happen to the Earth. The Earth slowing down, its rotation slowing down, was one main factor. It's actually talked about in the Bible. Gil Broussard goes over a lot of information pertaining to the biblical information that he has researched, and it's clearly in the Bible. Will we see this actually happen? Well, we're going to have to, kick back and see. But getting into the information that these scientists are coming out with, they're talking about the rotational speed of the Earth. Slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. Well, what does that sound like to you? To me, that sounds like an earth wobble. Slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. It's kind of alarming that all of a sudden these geophysicists and these scientists are now coming out with this information. We're only a few weeks away from 2018. And they're telling us now that because of this motion and this rotation of the Earth, this slowing down, that we're going to see a pretty substantial uptick in large earthquakes throughout 2018. They seem to be puzzled. I mean, it actually states that in the article. The team was puzzled as to the root cause of the prediction of this uptick in earthquake activity for 2018. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, these are bold statements by these geophysicists and these scientists. Are they trying to point us in the direction of preparation? Prepare? I mean, this is very, very, very alarming. If you have not read this article, I would definitely suggest that you do so. They go into talking about their findings, possible reasons why this is occurring. And Dr. Albers wrote a very, very detailed report on the dynamics of earthquakes and the inner dynamics of the Earth. And this all plays into this story, this article, these geophysicists' reports, their scientific findings. But when they start using the word they're puzzled, well, that's, again, very alarming. I mean, a lot of you already know how I feel about science. You know, we rely a lot on science. We depend on science. But is science always right? No, it's not. These are human beings that are producing hypotheses, theories. And just because they may be a little bit smarter than me and you, doesn't mean they're always right. Very, very interesting article, but at the same time, very startling. Now, it states that there is no direct link between parts of their article that talk about this temporary hiccup in the Earth's rotation. But what they do know and what they do predict is that the average of these 7.0 or greater earthquakes, this uptick is going to increase from 15 to 20 a year to 25 to 30 large earthquakes throughout 2018. And again, folks, we are right around the corner from this timeline. And we've already seen the uptick in the earthquake activity. And when I mean the uptick, I'm talking about the size, the magnitude of these earthquakes. And depending on where they occur, you know, we saw the destruction that occurred in the Middle East just recently. Those structures, these concrete structures, they cannot withstand these types of earthquakes. The concrete block, the concrete foundations, it just cracks, breaks, and crumbles. I saw some footage from Iraq and Iran just yesterday that was just absolutely devastating. You won't see too much of it in the mainstream media. But if any of you have a chance to read this article, it's been posted on the Planet X News Facebook page. Definitely read it. You can find it. It's all over the internet. What I wanted to get into and just take a quick look at, like we did before, the SDO, all of these sites were down. You know, there's so much that I'm going to have to go through over the course of, well, probably the next 24 hours. But there's a lot going on right now on the sun, and it seems like this site's already having problems once again. Oh boy. Yeah, it seems like they might be having some issues again. Well, it doesn't seem like it wants to load. Well, you know, and I've never seen the NASA sites go down like that for, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. I've just never seen that before. It seems, once again, I'm clicking on it. It's very, very slow. Just doesn't want to load, folks. For a short period of time, we did have some quick access to it, but it's not loading properly. One thing I do want to show you real quick. We're going to be heading into a pretty good solar stream here. As you can see here where we were on the 20th, you pay very close attention to this amount of energy right there. Just passed it, just skirted the Earth right there, leading into today. But what's coming is not so good. So you can see between the 23rd and the 24th, pretty strong amount of energy right there. Earth is going to be right on the outside cusp of this solar wave coming at us. So between the 23rd, 24th, and you all know from listening to Dr. Albers, even though this wave passes by, it will continue to affect the Earth for 2, 3, or 4 days afterwards. And that is all of these heavily charged particles penetrating deep into the Earth all the way to the core. That's when we see the uptick in the earthquake activity. So combined with what the scientists are stating and what's in store for us for 2018, the Earth slowing down, the Earth speeding up, the Earth wobbling. Oh, why is all of this happening? Well, you all know that over the course of the last 2 years, I've been very vocal about it. We all know why it's happening. I've shown you the pictures. I've shown you my findings. We know what's happening. That's what we have to look forward to. Are there some scientists out there that are forewarning us in some way? Are there some actual people in the science community and possibly governments that have a heart? Maybe their conscience is getting to them. Maybe they're releasing some information to maybe get it out there to the public and say, hey, you might want to pay attention to what we're saying. But they're not going to come right out and say that there is a massive object in our inner solar system that is affecting our sun. And that will affect our planet. They're not going to say that this object or these objects have very, very strong and powerful magnetic fields, which do have the energy. There is the possibility to tilt our planet, wobble our planet. We already see that happening. It's a fact. We see it. It is occurring. How bad will things be? Like I've said before, we're just going to have to see. Nobody has a crystal ball. We don't have access to the internal information that, these people at NASA and the European space agencies and these big governments have. They know what's up. But this is what we're going to have to look forward to in the next couple of days. It's going to be very close to the Thanksgiving holiday. People are going to be traveling. People are going to be on the road. Let's just hope and pray that nothing major happens during this time frame. But you can see the time frame based on the dates right here and where this solar energy is going to impact the Earth. And actually, this is a predictor model. It has been known to be off a little bit, but that's a pretty big wave coming our way. It's pretty powerful. We just had one skirt by the Earth between the 20th and today, and coming up very quickly, this one. So it is all there. I don't know exactly what's happening with the NASA websites. They were all down today, folks. And after the first 2 hours of those sites being down, I started saying to myself, oh boy, what is happening? Did they just, block me? But then when I posted the information on the Planet X News Facebook page, more and more people were reading the post, people from different areas and different countries, and they were trying to access it, and nobody could access any of the information. Everything was down. Even the main NASA website, even the JPL, even the NASA Goddard Center website, all of it down. But I wasn't having any internet issues. There were no internet issues that I could find anywhere in the world. So, a strong, powerful organization like NASA, it just seems like they purposely took down all of their websites off of the internet. For more than 12 hours, why? It's a big question. Many of you may not think that that's a big deal. But ladies and gentlemen, it is a really big deal when an organization like NASA goes down off of the internet for more than 12 hours. I mean, it literally has me up on my toes right now. And as soon as I can get back into all of these sites, the SDO, Stereo, Soho, all of it, as soon as I can get back in there and start taking a look at all of this information, I'm going to see what we've missed. I would advise each and every one of you, if you know how to use these websites, get your butt into them today. Start looking at the information from November 17th up to today. You want to help out? You want to do your part? This is how you can do it. If you guys find something, post it on the Planet X News Facebook page. Post it, tag me, inbox it to me, email it to me, whatever. But let's find out. Let's find out what the hell happened. Very, very strange that that organization went down like it did. So these geophysicists are saying that there's going to be a very serious uptick in earthquake activity in 2018. The Earth is slowing down, but only by milliseconds. I don't know about all that. There are days that seem to go by so quickly. In a flash, the day's gone. And then there are days like today where it seems like time is standing still. I've been having that same feeling constantly. I would say over the last 3 or 4 months. The days just seem to either drag on for hours. It just seems like time doesn't go anywhere. And then there are days that just, you click your fingers and the whole day is gone. I don't know if any of you have experienced that. I'm going to pop open the chat here real quick. Folks, I want to apologize for the first live stream. I had everything all set, ready to rock and roll. For some reason, with my screen sharing software, it looks like something kind of weird happened. But yeah, listen, if you guys really want to help out and you know how to get access to the SDO, the Solar Dynamics Observatory, the Soho, Stereo, start taking a look at some of this information. It'd be a big help for all of us that are involved, all of us that research and investigate. But as soon as they get their sites back up and operating properly, I'm going to probably spend the next 24 hours getting into what we've missed. What's a little alarming for me is during that time frame, 12, 13 hours, that all of these sites were down, it makes me truly wonder, what did they do? What did they do? What were they doing? Like I said, it's pretty unusual that such a technical organization as NASA loses all of their websites for 12, 13, 14 hours. And what, they think nobody's going to ask questions? I'm asking them. If any of you haven't seen Dr. Albers' last 2 video reports on her YouTube channel, check them out. I mean, she just came right out there and, issued a challenge for NASA. What's this David Cook talking about? Why mute me, Scott? What are you talking about, David Cook? You only speak the truth? What do you mean you're being muted? What the hell are you talking about? Speak up. If you're going to come on to my programs and you're going to sit there and talk shit, then yeah, you'll be muted. You'll be booted right out of here, because I'm sick and tired of the nonsense with a bunch of idiots. I notice, a lot of people that have questions about the information, and they sit there and, they just run their mouth and they sit there and they talk shit about what we research, but yet they're here on all of our live streams. They're watching every single one of my videos. They're commenting on my Planet X News Facebook page posts. So if you don't like the information, you don't believe in it, don't come back here. It is as simple as that. Stop being a cowardly little troll and move on. It is as simple as that. And if you have better information or better research, then put it up on your YouTube channel and let the world see it. Don't be a little sissy boy and hide behind your computer and flap your gums. Because I don't have any respect for that at all. I've been dealing with these people for years now. Already today, and yesterday, the threats coming into the Planet X News email address have been kind of comical. People threatening to kill me and kill Dr. Albers and silence us. Hey, man, you know what? Give it your best shot. I got one idiot sending me a list of my past addresses where I lived. Wow, you're a real good private investigator. Inch high, private eye. Well, if you think you know where I'm located and you have balls, then knock on my door. I'll invite you in. You won't make it back out. I can guarantee you that. You will not make it back out. So if you feel froggy, leap, as we used to say when we were kids. Because that's what these people have boiled down to. The trolling operations do not bother me. They pick and choose their battles. The reason why they come after me and Dr. Albers is very simple. We're putting out the most credible information. We're turning heads. We're opening up eyes. And people around the world are waking up. Not just a few thousand, hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions. So don't come to my live streams and flap your gums and talk a bunch of shit, because we'll kick you right out. Now, getting back to what I was saying, folks, if any of you have time today in your busy days, get on some of these websites, the SDO and the Stereo, all of them. Get in there and see what you can find. As soon as I can get on there, I'm going to start nitpicking through all of their information. I've already seen some things that look pretty out of place, pretty weird on the Stereo. If you were watching the live stream earlier that had no sound, and I apologize for that, I showed you already what's occurring on the Stereo, the Core 2. Very, very weird things happening. So let's all band together here and let's try to take a look at this. If you see something take a screenshot of it, get the full information, the timestamp in your screenshot, post it on the Planet X News Facebook page, and let's go at it. Let's see what happened to these past 12 to 13 hours with NASA. Where did they go? What were they doing? Why was the information down? I mean, it's really got me thinking. And then this report that's come out about the earthquake activity for 2018. We've already seen a belly full of it for this year. We've got about 5-6 weeks till we, get into 2018. I think that we're actually moving into some very dangerous times with our planet. We see what's happening, folks. We see what's happening. We see what's happening with these governments also. Very weird things. I'm not even going to get into the weather. I'm not even going to get into the weather issues. We've already beat that to death. We already know that our weather patterns are just absolutely insane. I think there are some other areas that we really need to look into. And those other areas that we need to look into are these reports by these scientists that are being dropped out there. I don't know about any of you, but this article, this report about 2018 really has me nervous. It really does. I don't know about any of you, but it has me nervous. And as I stated the other day, folks, I know a lot of you follow a bunch of other Facebook groups and things of that nature. And, the whole mythological story of Nibiru, we don't have any solid proof about this mythological storyline of Nibiru. I followed it. I researched it. I've dug into every bit of it. So when we see these articles popping up from these online tabloids from the UK, the Sun, the Mirror, the UK Express, now they're all attacking Tyrrell over there at the Black Star Project. Just really setting him up. The troll operations are making video after video after video after video about Tyrrell and his research, and talking about his predictions for magnitude 7 point whatever earthquakes for that specific day, November 19th. Well, I mean, it happens every year. Tyrrell's information is pretty spot on. I've had some long conversations with him on the phone. We've done a few live streams together. We have different views on a few things. His group is following and researching their subject matter. Dr. Albers and I are following and researching our own subject matter. What we call it, whether we call it a black star or whether we call it Planet X, whether we call it a stellar core, whether we call it a big fart in space. The bottom line is we see what is happening. We've shown you the photographic evidence, and getting into that photographic evidence, the last book that Dr. Albers and I just published, it has taken off like a bat out of hell. which is a good thing. And the reason why we put that book together was so people around the world that cannot access the YouTube videos, they are able to access Amazon and they are able to buy that book. And it's like I said, folks, it's big. It's the size of a magazine, all full color, high definition. All of the evidence is there. And now, every 2 weeks, we're going to be putting out a new series out on Amazon in a magazine format that big. It's going to be 5 of Dr. Albers' reports and all of the photographic evidence that I've acquired. We're going to try to keep the price way down, but we don't set that with the printing costs, coming from these publishers. We all need to stick together on this topic. People want to go in different directions. Hey, that's fine, man. But, when you're looking at the photographs like I showed you the other day of what I've captured again on the SDO, I mean, come on. There's no sense in believing in a mythological planet when we know damn well what is out there. It could be a series of these objects. I truly believe that there is one massive object out there, and that's the one that I've been capturing over and over and over and over again based on my calendar timeline that I've been putting together over the last 6 months. I think I've more than proven myself and proven the research that we do. We've also seen this, kind of a strange uptick in meteors whipping through and whipping by Earth. Like all of a sudden, man, these things are just coming out of nowhere all over again. We saw this same thing happen at the end of 2016, the last quarter of that year. And here we are again, the last quarter of this year, the last waning weeks, and we're seeing objects whipping through the skies everywhere. And then, you all saw the story, excuse me, about this massive object, bigger than the Empire State Building, 1,200 meters long, zipping through space. I think I have a picture of it. The artist's rendition. I even saved that thing. Yeah, this thing. The hell is that? I've always loved Earth space science. Even as a kid. Loved to study asteroids and comets and meteors. We all think of them as, kind of round and, the whole backstory. But then, the ESO, they find this thing. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, it even stumped them. They said it was a, very, very metallic composition and kind of red in color. I don't know if any of you read the article on it. I posted the article on the Planet X News Facebook page. I also uploaded the official video on it. Very mysterious. Looks like a spaceship to me. I mean, this is just the artist's rendition of what was, I guess, given to him based on the data that the ESO came up with. So something whipping through our solar system, the size of the Empire State Building, looking like this, yeah, I think that would raise some eyebrows. So again, folks, a lot of weird things happening out there. And it's just getting to the point where, hey, you know what? If you're not a believer, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you want more solid, concrete evidence, start doing your own homework. Start researching for yourself. I mean, it does take some hours. There's no doubt about that. But just looking at these objects, I mean, what do you think that is? What do you think? That's just some mysterious shadow that just popped up? I mean, come on. I can't center it in the screen. Better closer look at it. And it's right where I said it would be based on my calendar. Remember, folks, I've been telling you what I've been putting together based on the calendar. The first couple of months, out of every month, it will be quiet. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. But as soon as we get past that first week in every month, we start to see action, disturbances on the sun. Then that's related to the uptick in the earthquake activity. Days later, we see the coronal mass ejections. And it seems that this is about a 3-week period in every month. And then as we get to the end of the month, very close to the end of the month, the last couple of days, the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, around there, it seems that things kind of quiet down a little bit. But I know where to find this object based on that calendar timeline that I've been putting together for, I think it's been more than 6 months I've been charting this. And I said in the beginning of the week, last week during our live stream, I said, it's just, just give it a couple of days. We're going to get a sighting. Sure enough, this occurs on the 15th of November. And because of the positioning of this object, and you can see some of the disturbance that occurred was a sunspot group. And we haven't seen a sunspot in a little bit of time. But this sunspot group came from the left side of the limb right here. Where's this object situated? Right back there. And this was the new discovery for the 15th of November. Right there. I mean, if you think that's something else, if you think it's just a camera anomaly, then you need to explain to me why I have captured this strange camera anomaly as many times as I have. So just, me and Dr. Albers were having a conversation about, okay, well, we're done proving to people that this Planet X object exists out there near our sun. We're done proving it to everyone because we think that we have done our job and we have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it exists. Now it's left up to people that are the naysayers and the big mouths flapping their gums, calling you a fraud and a criminal. Listen, we've proven it's there. Now, the ball's in your court. You prove that it's not there. You prove it. You can't. You can't prove it's not there. Why do you think the NASA mouthpieces are starting to come out with their statements? That David Morrison from NASA, the NASA mouthpiece. Oh, NASA's getting fed up with the Planet X information. I truly believe that not everyone at NASA is involved in this conspiracy or this cover-up. There may be some people within that organization that know what's happening, that may at one point have a change of heart. It's hard to say. Will they come out as a whistleblower? If they did, well, they better go deep underground, because they're going to have a big bullseye on their back. So, if the naysayers out there have definitive proof that this is not happening and this doesn't exist, then you better get up there on your YouTube channel or your Facebook page or your Twitter or your website, and you better come up with the proof that it doesn't exist. And I don't want to just hear you say, oh, Planet X doesn't exist. There's nothing out there by the sun. And look at all of the astronomers around the world. They would have found it by now. You know what? I'm so sick and tired of hearing the same old rhetoric coming from the same old blabbermouths that never come up with any damn proof other than flapping their gums. Flap, 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 talking shit. That's all that is coming out of their mouths. As I've stated before, if you do not believe in the information that you're watching, if you don't believe in the reports, then don't watch it. Go about your little petty life, do what you gotta do, and leave us alone. Leave the people alone that want the knowledge, that want to know what is happening. And then, as they say, when the shit hits the fan, the people that are flapping their gums, they're going to be the ones shitting their pants. They're going to be the ones not knowing what's happening and why. You'll be crying like a little baby. You may have never prayed to your God before, but mark my words, gum flappers, when the shit hits the fan, you will be on your knees, begging, pleading, and praying to whatever God you worship. And I hate to say it, but I only wish that I could be standing over you and telling you, see, I told you so. You shouldn't have been such an arrogant prick to not understand what is really happening. You had to let your ego get in the way. If any of you out there think that you can do it better than me, please, more power to you. The more people we have out there investigating this matter, the more people we have out there researching, the better off we are going to be. Me? I'm nobody. I'm just one man on this earth. But I do know this much. I have a pretty damn good idea of what's happening. I wish I had the crystal ball that I could produce a timeline and tell everybody, this is the day to watch. But this is not, revolving around a day. This is revolving around a period of time, a progression of time. And as we have seen, everything is slowly progressing. There is no doubt about it. And yes, it is scary. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not. But it's time to get to work. We're all grown adults. We need to pick up where we left off, and we need to continue searching. Will we ever find all of the answers? Probably not. Do I want to be left in the dark? No, I do not. Do I want to have a pretty good idea of what's happening? Yes, I do. And if all of you want the same, then you keep yourselves subscribed. You keep coming back to this channel. You keep listening to Dr. Albers and her reports. You stay in tune with us on our Facebook page. And we'll keep poking around. We'll keep investigating. We'll keep researching. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have. That's all that we have. There are some very suspicious things going on around the world. Let's just hope that we make it to the new year. But what these geophysicists are talking about, it's going to be one hell of a 2018. And for people that live in areas around the world that are victims of, substantial earthquake activity, it may be like living in hell. We all need to watch out for each other's back in one way or another. But anyways, folks, listen, I'm going to cut this live stream off right now. I've got plenty of work to do. I hope these NASA websites stay up. All of you join in, with the information. Utilize your social media. Utilize your YouTube channels. Make a little video. Show everybody what you found. Show everybody what you're seeing. Doesn't necessarily have to be pictures that you're taking of the sun in the daytime. Get in there and get this research done with, some of these NASA instruments. They can't hide everything, even though they do try. We know they try. So listen, folks, does anybody have any quick questions? I have the live chat back up here. And if anybody doesn't have any questions real quick that I could answer, I'm going to move on because I could see I have a good 24 hours of data that I'm going to have to search through. Folks, one thing that you're always going to get with me is you're going to get me raw, uncut. I'm not like some of the other people that are going to sit here and, blow smoke up your ass and tell all of you, oh, I love you. Oh, I love all of you. I do deeply care that, what happens to humanity, what's happening to our planet. It concerns me. It always has. If it didn't, well, I'd be on my merry way and I wouldn't give a shit about what's happening. But deep down in my heart, I do care about what is occurring. I could only be as vocal as I am. But I'm not fake. I'm real. I'm not out there shaking some tin cup with an online ministry. We got to keep our eyes and our ears wide open. That much is for sure. But listen, folks, all of you, you have a very, very good evening. Possibly in a few hours, Dr. Albers and I are going to be on another live stream, and we're going to be talking about the last two reports that she's published on her YouTube channel. One of them has to do with this massive iceberg that's broken off, pretty much completely broken off down in the Antarctic, the Larson's ice shelf. It's been breaking for quite some time, but there's some new photographic evidence, some thermal imaging that was finally taken because of the change of seasons down there. They're getting more daylight. So, flying these NASA planes over the area and getting some actual photographic and video evidence of this massive ice shelf breaking off. That's very concerning. A lot of people may downplay it, but what I've researched over the last couple of days clearly shows the Antarctic heating up internally from underneath. What the hell's that all about? And some of the video information and some of the photographs that I saw from some of the independent scientists that were assigned to these projects in the Antarctic, I was checking out a few of their tweets on their Twitter accounts. Folks, could you imagine running around in the Antarctic in shorts and a t-shirt with all of this beautiful, lush greenery? Remember, it's the Antarctic. Isn't it supposed to be cold as hell? But yet they posted these pictures on their individual Twitter accounts when they were getting off of the plane down in the Antarctic, right along the tip that extends out below the tip of South America. I found the photographs very candid, but very unusual, that you'd be getting off a plane in the Antarctic wearing nothing but shorts, some jogging shoes, and a t-shirt, and all of the lush greenery. Wow. What is the Antarctic turning into? We already know all of those governments are down there. They literally have neighborhoods and small towns built already. Very self-sustaining. Interesting. Very interesting. I do have some of the information saved up. Maybe we'll go over it. But Dr. Albers, her last two reports, if you haven't watched the videos on her channel, you get a chance, check them out. And we're going to see if we have some time in a little while to get her on here with us and do a live stream and talk a little bit more about what's happening and talk more about the last two reports that she has placed out there. So listen, all of you, stay safe, keep an eye to the sky, keep an ear to the pavement, keep doing what you're doing, And if you want to help out with that research, most definitely, if you can get onto the NASA sites, get on there, check it out. And if you find something very interesting, let me know and we'll check it out together. So this is Scott from Planet X News. Thank all of you very, very much for being with me. And I apologize for the first live stream with no sound. Won't happen again. But listen, everybody, take care.